Happy Aloha Friday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of My Tais at Sunset. I'm Tai.
Aloha, I'm Mai. Happy Aloha Friday. I set the intention.
It's Pau Hana.
I set the intention that we are going to have a lot of fun, share a lot of positivity, and hopefully you laugh along with us. I know we got some fun things. Tai, you got our package. You got my package.
Yes, I did. Oh my gosh, it's so lovely to always get a like to actually just get any care package in general, but it's extra super special to get one from Hawaii from my best friend. And Mai, thank you very much for sending us all the goodies. And we're going to be doing a little taste testing. So I know Megan out there, you're a little bit jealous, but just bear with me. And eventually I will also send you a little bit of aloha as I start to master some of these recipes that Mai has so graciously shared with my family. Mm-hmm. So the first thing up, my mouth is like already watering. Mm-hmm. I'm already having a hard time containing myself. And she made the pickled mango that she had talked about on a previous podcast. And oh my goodness, folks. Like, I cannot even express to you how amazing. So I got the package and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, let me open it up. And then I'm like, oh, look, it's pickled mango. No big deal. Put it in the fridge. I'm like, yeah, I'll just enjoy it later. Because I have no idea what it's going to taste like, right? So I don't know what magic is inside this little bag. This vacuum sealed bag. And I was like, all right, let's do this. So the next day, I was like, let me open it up. My mom had come over to visit. I was like, let's just give it a try. Let's just see. So I open up the little vacuum sealed bag and I started to smell it. And I'm like, man, this smells really damn good. Like, holler good. Like, yes. So I take a baby piece. Like, it's late in the evening. I take this small little piece. And I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, it's going to be all right. Like, it's going to be like the pickle mango I've had, right? The real red one that's popular over in Hawaii. It's called lihimoi mango.
No.
Man, I took that bite and I like, it's lihimoi mango.
They call it lihing pickled mango. I actually made it more just, so there's two different versions. The original that I grew up with, the old school, was just pickled mango because lihing powder didn't really exist for sale.
You can't say no, Mai.
I can.
You can't say no.
I can say no.
You have to be like, because that's what they have on the package from the makeke was like lihing mango.
Well, it's because they have been adding now the newer recipes that are not the old school recipes that I grew up with are like they put in so much lihing and they add red food coloring to make the mangoes red.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm normally like used to. So I'm thinking like this is probably going to taste the same. Anyway, so I put it in my mouth and I look at my mom. She looks at me because she did the same thing. We look at each other a couple times and I'm like, oh my God. Like, my life just changed. And I couldn't, I had no words. I was like, oh my God, I need to make this. Like, and I need to pack it for lunch, like every day, like a couple pieces, just to like satisfy the palate. Because every time I think about it, like right now I'm like salivating.
Okay, well, you have some right there. Go ahead and let's hear you take a bite.
I'm getting saucy. All right. No, I'm going to put a whole thing in my mouth. Okay. It's so delicious. Like, this slice of mango has been calling my name. Okay, everyone. So just think, it's a slice of mango. It's got a red hue, like little tint to it because of the lihing powder. But it smells so good, like vinegar.
Yeah, it has a little slurping option.
It's so good. It's so good.
Are you crying on the inside? Just a little.
Yeah. Because tonight, oh my gosh, the vinegar hit me. Because tonight I made some. So I'm expecting the same results. Because I absolutely cannot go another day in my life without this.
How much do you have left of mine? Like you received it how many days ago? How many days ago did you get it? Friday?
Last week.
Yeah.
Last week, yeah.
And so it's been almost a whole week and you've been sparingly eating it. How much, that's all that's left? Like those 4 sad little pieces?
That's all that's left.
Your mom just let you walk away with it?
She did. Well, I gave her some. I was like, okay, I'll split it with you. But honestly, she went out today and she bought like a ton of green mangoes.
Green mangoes from where? Were they from Mexico? Or are they from Texas?
They're from Mexico. They're not from Hawaii. And she went to the 99 Ranch store that are really popular here. And she bought a box of them for $7.
That's a good deal.
Big mangoes. I mean, maybe they're probably a little bit more than a pound
Yeah.
each. So they're really big. And the thing is with raw mangoes here, they're starting to ripe already around the seed.
Yeah.
But on the outside, they're actually like super hard, like
Yeah.
dense. And I know that's what you said to get. See, now my mouth is like watering. So I'm going to go ahead and put that cup aside. It was delicious. Yummy, yummy, yummy. But what they taste like literally is you're almost like thinking like maybe a pickle, but with a mango flavor. And it just has a nice little kick to it because the white vinegar is so strong.
I just love white vinegar. Now, traditionally, when I was growing up, we only used white vinegar. The idea and I'm going to post this recipe, so it's kind of fluid. Have fun with it. It's not like you don't have to follow it exactly. And the way that I make anything, I'm always like flexible. So I like to mix my vinegars. And it's really popular now to like mix like apple cider vinegar and maybe a rice wine vinegar. I actually ended up using a Japanese grain vinegar and white vinegar and just any vinegars. And you're just going to just do it to taste. And I will.
Yeah, and you had a guest that tried it too, right?
Yes.
And what did he think of it?
A California boy. He, for the first time, tried it and I offered him second. He goes, "Really? Can I have some more?" And I said, I gave him the whole jar, and I said, "However much you want." He loved it.
Then he goes, I probably could eat a whole jar in a day, and it's probably not good for my skin or my kidneys, but that's fine.
Just a little bit. I mean, there's always something good with the fermentation of vinegars, right, for our bodies. So a little bit is probably just fine. But it does have a lot of sodium because of that lihang powder, the lihimoi. Those are salted dried plums, Japanese. I believe that they are Japanese dried plums. What was I going to say? Oh, but this young man, he asked for the recipe. And so just like him, I told him it's going to be on the website soon. So I've already written it. I just need to make all my images and my video, and it will all post. So keep looking out for that. mytaisatsunset.com.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. The next up on the list is the Furikaki Party Mix, which I'm going to dig into right now. Basically, Furikaki is can you give us an explanation while I open this?
Furikaki would be, it's like nori, which is seaweed, and it's in little tiny little bits, and mixed with sesame seeds. Usually a white sesame seed or black sesame seed or both. There's some salt and there's a little bit of sugar. And that's how you actually make your own furikaki mix.
Yep, and it's super delicious.
And
once you start, you cannot stop.
Yeah, but so it's the furikaki mix, the furikaki, and then they put that on like a buttery Chex mix recipe. So you just take your Chex mix. Now in Hawaii, we don't use normally peanuts. We use macadamia nuts, and we still have Chex mix, cereal mix, whatever ones you like as your favorite.
Don't make people jealous.
But it's Hawaiian style. We like macadamia nuts.
It's good. So here we go. This is a piece of Chex Mix. They have bugles in there and pretzels and I think honeycomb
cereal. I love honeycomb cereal, my Chex Mix party mix. Yeah, nice and crunchy, addictive.
So addictive. Yeah. Like I have to pace myself with all these Hawaii snacks. Like when I lived in Hawaii and I was eating all the snacks, like at least I had an activity to balance it out. Now I don't have so much of an activity and I'm like, I can't eat all this stuff.
You're working on the land.
One bag lasts me about a month.
Okay.
Like I eat it sparingly. Also, I want to like savor the flavor.
Okay, so what I do is I immediately break it up into smaller containers so that you're only opening like one every few days, and then because it gets stale.
Well, that's because you guys are more human and not everywhere has air conditioning, so it does get a little bit more stale quicker.
Yeah, and I actually have to keep a lot of certain of my snacks. They have to stay refrigerated. So everything lives in the refrigerator. Wow. So I don't actually have a lot of refrigerator space.
This furikaki would actually taste really good in the fridge because it'd be like cold and fresh.
Yeah, especially during the summer. I want everything cold. I don't want to eat hot things. I just want cold things.
No. When my family's like, I want to go eat pho, like during the summer, I'm like, it's hot outside, right? Like,
yeah.
like it's just like hot pot. Like it has to be cold inside the restaurant for us to like be able to eat it because it's hot. I mean, you start sweating like crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just the meat sweats that happens. I think it's just you're sweating.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So the next thing on the list are the Honolulu Cookie Company.
Mm-hmm. Are they Honolulu or Hawaiian?
Chocolate. This one says I'm sorry. It says Hawaiian. There's so many different. There's one that's like the Honolulu Pineapple Cookie Company or something. There's the Hawaiian Pineapple Cookie Company.
There's just a lot of cookies.
There's all kinds.
A lot of cookie companies.
Okay. Well, this other bag is chocolate chip shortbread shaped in the pineapple.
Cute little pineapple.
It has a pineapple shape.
Yes.
I know I'm making so much noise, like trying to dig out a little piece.
It's okay.
Because I don't want to eat a lot. Like, it's late here already, and I shouldn't be eating, like, all these crazy things. But we can indulge every once in a while. I'd rather eat the mango, to be quite honest. I still have some left, so. Come
on, chew. Crunch, crunch.
I am!
And how does it taste?
Oh, it's delicious. Oh my God, it's like heaven in your mouth.
Do you feel like you tasting Hawaii, like all those memories come back to you when you eat things from Hawaii?
I mean, I remember all the calories coming back to me, but at least they're good memories. Yeah, no, that was delicious. Thank you for sending that. I think when my mom saw that, she like grabbed the bag and like ran away, and I've never seen them again. So I had to go like dig for them. Like, where did you put the cookies? She's like, I put them somewhere. Let me go get them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, lady, I need these to record later tonight. So
it's only because we talked about it so much in depth in the last episode.
Yeah,
so you got to say like how everything, did it all arrive okay? Was anything cracked or broken?
Everything was perfect.
The U.S. Postal Service.
Broken. Everything was preserved.
They didn't drop the box and it wasn't dented. It was all perfect.
I'm still looking at this mango.
It's your last
mango
few pieces.
On the bottom of the cup. No, there's like a whole thing of Pyrex of mango in the fridge. So I'm not like freaking out too hard because we made our own. Mm-hmm. It's so good. All right, y'all. I'm going to stop with the snacks in a second. I'm just going to take one more bite of mango.
I'm glad you really liked it. I'm really glad that it made it okay. I was really concerned.
When are you making some more?
I don't know. It was a lot of work. Dude,
that only took me like 20 minutes to make that.
Actually, I still have 2 jars in the fridge. So it'll be a while. It'll be a while.
Send it.
No, that's going to get me through winter. No, but
what?
If I see mangoes on sale, I'll probably buy some more and make it again.
Woo woo. Mm-hmm. Do it. All right, so how are things, like how's the recovery from having your friends visiting and everything?
Oh,
like,
my daughter's friend. Yes, it did take us like almost a week to recover, just to catch up, like not only on your regular life, because when somebody comes to visit, it threw off, a lot of your schedules and your day-to-day life, which is fine. Yeah, everybody needs to shake it up once in a while. But it did take me a while, and that's why I apologize. I am so late, patrons, to getting the episode up early on Patreon. It will be up in a moment, right after this recording, in fact.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad the, people that she was with had a good time. Your daughter had a good time, right?
Yes.
And I saw that you guys went to the beach this morning.
Yes.
That was cool. It looked a little bit crowded. It looked like there were a lot of tourists still there.
There was. It's still really, really packed. I couldn't even get a parking space at Kalama Beach. It was crazy.
Where'd you end up parking?
Down one of the side streets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's so weird. Like, Governor Ige already said, like, don't come anymore. I think they're going to start doing a reservation system to actually get into Hawaii, so that way they can monitor how many people are in and out.
I don't think we have the resources for that. I think that's like a wish.
I don't know.
That's a wish, but
is it a wish?
I think that's a wish.
I don't know. They should stop sending plane loads of people onto an island where you guys don't even have enough resources to support yourselves. Like, that's because of COVID, right? Like, everything's been backed up.
Everything's been backed up. But I don't think we can afford to lock down, like shut down. It's really hard getting businesses to kind of stay open and to just try to rebuild our economy. But I think they are going to, force everybody. I mean, obviously the masks aren't coming off. we're going to keep that on. And it might actually come back to you're going to have to wear your mask outdoors. I really hope not, because it's really hard to go and do any outdoor activity when you have to breathe through your mask.
Well, I feel like if you give everybody space, like you should be able to be out, outdoors.
Yeah.
Maybe they just need to enforce the 6-foot rule. But it's so hard when you're like packed in Waikiki and you're walking up and down the streets and, there's people everywhere.
I had a really weird moment shopping at Costco today. It was like crazy packed. And I did this. I went early because I thought, we're going to record this afternoon. So I just wanted to go and get a couple things because it's Labor Day weekend. So we're planning to barbecue and things like that. So and then the sale, Costco has their sale book out. And so that literally just came out yesterday. So I was expecting it to be a little busier, but not to the point where it almost looked like the lines went from the cash register to like halfway through the store. And I was dear. Oh my gosh. I mean, I've seen 3-day weekend shopping, but I've never seen the lines like that since it was pandemic shopping. But nobody's got really full carts. And then people are walking past like, what is it? And I'm like, don't you know it's 3-day weekend? It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, people are sort of out of touch with like
holidays in the world
and things because they're all working from home and.
Yep, they forgot what day it is.
Oh, sometimes I forget what day it is because I work so much now. Like, oh goodness, it's nice to have a day off though.
I have to say, this week has.
It feels so weird to have a day off,
right? This year is flying. 2021.
I can't believe we're already. I know we're almost done. We're almost like in 2022 now. I'm still eating this mango. I don't even care.
How many? I didn't think you had that much in there.
I have like morsels at the bottom, and I have a little juice, so that's gonna go down in a little bit too.
You're just sticking your fingers in there and licking every bit. Did you not bring like a chaser? I told you should you get margarita mix, and then you pour in a little bit of that juice from the mango.
No, I'm not gonna do that to myself. No, I have little chunks left.
It would be like a Lihing mango margarita. Trying to get every bit out of that cup.
I got it.
It's gone now.
Oh, I got it.
That was the last of it.
It's like worse than a shot. My eyes are squinting because it's so sour.
But sweet and good. It's like it hits all those combinations. It's acid and it's sweet and it's salty.
And it's like constant like drooling. Mm-hmm. Drool. It's probably, like I said, it's probably not good for my complexion, but I don't care.
Drink lots of water. It's
like that was delicious.
It'll be fine. Just keep drinking lots of water.
Chug.
You remember a few weeks ago where you said that your truck got hit and while it was parked in the parking lot? Literally the next week, my dad's truck got backed into.
Are you kidding me? What is wrong? Okay, PSA, everybody. Hi, this is Ty, and I'm just going to give you a PSA for the whole month and the rest of the year. Please stop rushing in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Just stop rushing. Stop hitting other cars and trying to drive away and do all these things to other people's things. Like, slow down. You're not going to get there any faster. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And for those of you who like to say, come on, Waze or Google Maps, bring it on. You said my estimated time of arrival is 6:55. I'm going to make it 6:53. You're only getting 2 minutes early. So 2 minutes early. So stop. Please just stop. People are driving so crazy and you're destroying people's beautiful vehicles and it makes me sad. And then you have to drive a van or now I'm in some Jeep Wrangler like cult because now every Jeep driver wants to wave to me and I don't wave back because I'm not used to it and I look like a douche. So yeah, let's not do that. Anyway, go ahead. Continue your story. That was my PSA. Thank you very much, everyone.
Well, it's going to be fine. We didn't need to call the police because everybody was there. We heard the crash and just exchanged insurance and was calm. But it was so sad because it was these younger kids who did it, and they're just in tears, and just you feel bad, and you're like, well, this is what happens. Just you got to watch and you got to be careful. Young drivers.
What kind of car were they driving?
Also a big pickup truck. They just didn't understand. They weren't aware of how far back, the truck bed is versus what they were hitting. They just weren't familiar enough.
They didn't have a camera on theirs?
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. I just know that Dad's truck got hit. Poor thing. That's crazy. Just slow down. But 2020 felt like crawling every day. It was so slow. Time was passing so slow. And then 2021, it's like, I remember when it was like January and now it's September. It's September.
I know.
Next month is
I can't believe it.
Halloween. And then it'll be
Woo!
Thanksgiving, then Christmas. And I'm thinking that, again, this is going to be a holiday season where you're not going to be able to have any holiday celebrations because it's limited to how many people. So I don't think I will be hosting our traditional Thanksgiving or Christmas with my family this year.
No.
We have the maximum number of people in our household already.
It's better to be safe than sorry. I mean, I know it sucks to like not be able to get together for the holidays, but sometimes it is better to be safe than sorry. And especially with you guys, with your rising numbers and then also all the people continuing to come in and out. I mean, wait. I read an article that a girl was using a fake vaccination card in Hawaii.
Yep.
And the reason why she got caught is because she spelled Moderna wrong.
Yeah.
And now she's going to do like a year in prison plus $5,000 fine plus everything else. And I was like, how do you spell Moderna wrong? She spelled it Madarna.
Oh.
Moderna.
But when you look at the vaccination card, I mean, it doesn't even look like a real serious card. Like even the Social Security card from the Social Security Administration, it's got like weirdness to it that is very difficult to copy and reprint. But the vaccination cards, they totally cheaped out. Yeah, there's the CDC logo. There's a bunch out there that are fake that the CDC logo is wrong, but it looked like it was you can easily copy and paste these things. I
haven't really looked at mine. All I did was put it in a little case because I was like, if I'm going to have to show this everywhere I go from now on, I need to take care of it.
Yeah, I was even going to go ahead and I was going to put it in a sealer thing. But I'm wondering if I put it in, I laminate it, it's going to be like, no, this is fake. I'll be like, what? I laminated it special. So I think I'm just going to get a slip-in one.
I put it. Yeah, they have the actual ones you can buy that are like the ones that you can just put it in. It was like $5 for a pack of 12. I was like, okay, this is perfect. Just handing it out to the neighbors. Mm-hmm. Like, here for your vaccination card. I have a couple neighbors, and I have a couple friends who are in the healthcare field that have not been vaccinated and they choose not to, which is completely their choice. But now they're facing like penalties for their insurance, their health insurance.
Oh.
So some of my friends who are not choosing to get the vaccination, their employer is actually telling them like, hey, we're going to charge you $200 extra a month
on your insurance
because you don't want to get the vaccine. Correct.
And the vaccine is free.
Yeah, I just think that some people just really don't want it, and that's fine. Like, we can always the interesting thing is you can decline the flu vaccine, flu shot, but some employers are not allowing you to decline the COVID vaccine. Like, some people are requiring it.
Well, if you think about it,
they charge you for it.
Any business that has employees that interact with customers, and your customers are going to question your business, and that means every employee, it looks bad to ask your customers to be vaccinated, and even for your customers who aren't vaccinated to well, what is your policy? I mean, it's just coming down. It might get ugly. I'm almost worried that it's just going to be forced, mandated, and the federal government did not have the balls to say all Americans must get this vaccine. So they've passed it on to be a problem for every business.
Well, that's why there's like a lot of states versus state lawsuits and things like that with the mask mandates, the vaccine.
All it had created was a mess. It did.
Well, Texas, did you hear about Texas on September 1st passed a whole bunch of laws? I don't want to get too political, but I'll just highlight a couple of them that they passed. So one was now anybody can carry a weapon unless you're restricted in some way. And you don't need any type of training. And you don't need to go through background check or have a CHL, which is a concealed handgun license. Everybody can carry unless you're restricted.
But only within their state.
They did.
Like, they can't be like, we're Texans and now we're visiting Florida. Or maybe Florida allows it, but, in the interim.
There's a lot of states that allow any citizen or any resident, to carry a weapon. So it's not like a new thing, but it's just people are equating it as like Texas is becoming more like the Wild Wild West. And I'm like, well, I have an interesting story. Today, I actually heard gunshots near a window of a business. And I was like, oh dear, here we go. It starts, it's starting. Yeah. Like people are going to start carrying and they're going to start using it. But ultimately, some people are saying it's like the Wild Wild West, but ultimately they think, and it has been theorized, that the premise behind the whole thing is there are more good people with guns. There are bad people, but those people are not always trained.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. And then the next one, there was the whole abortion law that was passed, which I have personal opinions about. Other people have very strong opinions about, but we're not going to dig into that. Nope. But I'm just going to say that one's very controversial. There were a few more, like one, it's a felony to block an emergency vehicle. So like during some violent riots, people were stopping ambulances and police officers from responding in the fire department. Mm-hmm. And then they were destroying those vehicles, which I think is really important. Like somebody is actively needing those services. Mm-hmm. And it has nothing to do with anything else. Like somebody needs an ambulance or somebody needs a fire department. Please get out of their way. I see people when I drive and there's an ambulance coming. They don't know where to go. And I'm like, why do you not know to pull to the right or get out of the way? Right?
Yeah. Because it's on the test when you take your
panic.
When your driver's test.
I know. Some people don't have a license and they're just driving around. So I think that could be it too. But they just never get out of the way. They seem to be more in the way, And if an ambulance or a firefighter, a fire truck or a police car crash into you, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And you will accept the damages. They don't pay for anything. Like, that's all you. Unless they're driving recklessly. But if they are trying to get around you and you pull in front of them, it's pretty much a problem. Another one was these are the ones that are sticking out to me, right?
That's quite a lot.
Oh, there's 600 laws that went into effect on September 1st. But there's another one
was busy
that the Star Spangled Banner has to play at every sporting event.
Okay.
In Texas. So I thought that was interesting too. I've always had the Star Spangled Banner play at everything that I've been in. So high school basketball games, junior high tennis matches. It's just a thing, So I didn't know that needed to be a law.
Yeah.
And there's a few others, but those are the ones that I kind of stuck out to me. I mean, I'm sure there's more. It's been a long day, but it's interesting what laws get passed. And I'm like, when did I vote for that? When did I say that was okay?
But
most of them
it's
are
who
okay
you
with,
voted for that's representing the people that decided this is what needs to be on the books.
Right.
So it's you got to know who you voted for.
Yeah, I mean, some laws, there are weird laws that are still in effect in certain states, you would not believe. And maybe we could, feature those sometime, on the podcast. Maybe there's some interesting Hawaiian laws.
There's some very interesting ones. And the one that I always quote all the time is that there are no private beaches in Hawaii.
Yeah, tell that to Paul Mitchell.
No, that's just his land, though. That's his vegetation line. There's no beach in front of him unless it's really low tide and it's exposed.
So literally I could go on to any beach and nobody could be like, this is private property.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's oceanfront, technically there's no beach. So the wall is their thing. Well,
that's good to know. I mean, our listeners need to know that so they don't just go wandering onto any beach.
Yeah.
I miss those long walks on an endless beach and my face just burning off.
It was hot.
That sun is strong. The sun is so strong.
Our last episode, I filmed Makapu'u Beach. I actually went to the lookout and filmed it so you could see Makapu'u Beach. And it was hot. It was hot. I was out there at 1:30, in the middle of the day. There was lots of parking, though.
Well, that is hot.
Because nobody wants to be there at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Can you go do some filming at Sandy's? Because I'd like to talk about some injuries that have happened there that I've seen.
I put video to match kind of what our conversation is about. So if you've got Sandy's
then you better put mangoes.
Aulani really wants to go down to play back at the lagoon. So
I suggest like getting a day pass at the spa or booking a spa treatment and just like going in and out. And their beach is wonderful. Their little like enclosed lagoon beach area is fantastic, and you can use that too.
that is open to the public anyway. All the lagoons.
Yeah.
I knew that the lagoons have some kind of netting to keep big, large things out. And I said, did you...
Like sharks?
Yes, like sharks. And I said, did you guys go to it? And she said, yes. So I actually have a photograph. They took a photo out there of this rope that you can see going across the end of the lagoon between the rocks. And they...
Wouldn't it be scary if you like dove down
and then there's
like,
a shark.
There was like a shark like
On the
chilling,
other
like,
side.
waiting for you. I like how we're doing like the shark movement. Like it's just waiting and it's like, hey, let me
what's in there?
Hey, can you cut this rope right here so I can come in? I love exotic meats because there's people from all over the world. Like I love exotic meat.
But
Let me in.
they were swimming at sunset. And I thought about it. I'm like, I'd even be okay swimming there at sunset behind the safety of the net.
Yeah, for sure. Like I would be, I don't know. I remember when we were at Kailua Beach and I'd always be afraid to go to the buoy because I'd be like, oh my God, this is probably like, like how you have a buoy when you're casting a line and you can see if a fish is like biting at it, right? Because it goes under and up, a bobber. Well, I always thought like the buoy, the swim buoy was like a bobber and basically something was waiting for me. So every time they'd be like, swim to the buoy. And I'm like, I would like get close, but I would not touch it because I was like, I don't want to be shark bait.
No. So I went to Kalama Beach and I filmed there too. I think that's where I sent you the picture from. Boogie boarding with our free boogie boards. So nice. I wanted to mention that the boogie boards were given to my daughter and her friends while they were at the Moana Surf Rider hanging out by the beach. Some tourists were leaving. They knew they were checking out and they just said, hey, do you want these boogie boards? Gave them to these kids and they're like, yeah. And now,
yeah, totally.
And they played with them for the rest of their days. And then now they live at my house. This is like the third time that I've inherited boogie boards from tourists.
Yeah, that seems to happen quite a lot. Like they will buy beach mats, like the
beach umbrellas,
kind of like hard bamboo
beach
ones.
Chairs.
Yeah, umbrellas, chairs.
They're just like, would you like this? Because they're leaving. And it's actually kind of cheap to just go buy it instead of renting it, actually. It's cheaper to just buy it. And then it's a really nice thing to give it away as a gift to somebody else.
Like here. Just take it. So I don't have to carry it. Yeah, I totally understand that.
But then there are a lot of services that you can just rent it and they will set it up wherever you want, whatever beach you want.
Yeah.
That does exist.
I do that sometimes. I like to be spoiled a little bit.
Yeah. Somebody will plop your stuff down, a tent, you can rent anything. There's a service out there.
I do want to caution people who go there, any beach, like your belongings, like don't leave them in your car because we know that you're driving a rental car, one. And then two, when you leave it out there, I promise you, somebody somewhere may come by and just take it. Like, it's really hard.
I mean, you're kind of trusting. If the beach is crowded and there's a lot of people around, you kind of hope that other people are watching out for your stuff. And sometimes that's true.
But they're not.
But,
sometimes
you got to also watch your friends and family and loved ones who are in the ocean. And something might happen.
So you got a lot to worry about.
And even though I was there and I was filming and I saw a lot of people just drop their stuff and then they headed towards the ocean, I know that that's their keys and their wallet and everything. And they're just leaving it right there on the sand. So if you're going to the beach, certain things you don't have to bring. There's nothing for you to buy at the beach. Leave that wallet someplace safer at home.
And just bring like one card and your ID.
Yeah, one card, your ID.
And put it in in a pocket that can get wet. Because your ID and your credit card can get wet.
Yep. And I actually...
maybe have a little bit of cash in the car, like $10, $20.
Yeah. But I usually just keep it in my phone. And then I have a phone case on... Because it's waterproof, yes. But salt water is different. And sand is everywhere. And not too many people are packing things to properly clean their cell phones if such and such were to happen. So just think about it. You don't need everything. You really don't need much at the beach. Just need a towel.
No, you really
just
don't.
need a towel. And it's better if you can get a key that's not a fancy key fob, because you do have to put that in a water protective thing. And they make so many little water protected, even a Ziploc bag, honestly. Just test it.
Yeah,
Test it first.
I don't even trust I don't trust a lot of things. This one waterproof case that I would always use, it could carry like a lot of things, like my car key, my phone, and like other little things. It's called Sea Line or Seal Line.
Mm-hmm.
You only have to buy one for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I still have the original one I used during paddling season my first year. So
Yep, they last forever. They do.
Yeah.
Even in Hawaii, I still have mine. It's
some other tips and tricks. There are bags that you can actually get that will lock and they're cut proof.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people put those on their chairs and you can't get to it. You know, you can't take it. So that's kind of cool. I know a couple people will put their stuff in like a Ziploc bag, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll bury it and then like mark the spot and put it under the towel.
Yeah.
So like
if somebody lifts your towel,
the person would have to correct.
dig.
They would be like and dig.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to it. Like it's not. So I've done that.
You still got to be
times.
sly though. Don't just do it in front of like 40 people sitting around you.
Well, you look like you're building a sandcastle, and then you throw your towel over it. Nobody's gonna be like, "Hey."
Yeah. I saw you stick your treasures in there. X marks the spot.
Exactly. But I mean that was a good idea. Like when you get there, sit down for a little bit, dig a little hole with your feet, put your thing in there, and then put your towel over it, and everybody's gonna be like, "What are they doing?" You know, nobody's like really watching that much. What people are watching for is you dropping your bag and running into the ocean. I just have to pick up your bag and leave, and then you're SOL, right?
Yep. And there are just so many people walking the beach, running the beach.
Yeah.
And dogs. A lot of people walk their dogs on the beach, and dogs are
and they
friendly.
pee on your stuff.
They will come and they will walk all over you and your stuff. Please don't get mad. They're just dogs. Just say hi, be friendly. But you can push them away and they won't pee on your things or you unless you absolutely stay still and try to ignore them. Then they will. They'll think you're still enough that they'll pee on you. I've
seen a couple dogs pee on people's stuff, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I've seen it. And a lot of dog owners, they're not very good. They will let their dogs do it. They don't even come by and apologize.
Oh my God, can I just tell you? Okay, so when we went to go get my brother's office trailer, I like kneeled down into the dirt to like pull out the supports, and I got like one of those like sticky burrs sort of in my knee. And it was itchy for the longest time. And it's been probably like a month and a half now since we've done that. I finally looked into it and I squeezed it a little bit. I had a thorn in my leg the whole time.
Oh my gosh. So your skin...
It was awful.
So your body didn't push it out. It kept it.
No, it kept it. And I was like, why is it so itchy? It hurts. And then I looked at it and I was like, damn it, I've had this stupid thorn carrying it around. I'm a freaking pollinator, like just carrying this stupid stuff around like bee. Anyway, it hurt. I was like, I pushed it out and I was like, oh my God. Why did I have this? Because I was wondering, why is it so itchy?
For over a month you were suffering? That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know. I don't take care of myself anymore like I used to. I need to do that more.
I'm finding as we get older, I have weirder pains. Like, I don't know what I did to my shoulder, but I woke up the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, my right shoulder, it hurts so bad. And I'm like, did I lift something? Did I move something? I can't think of anything out of the ordinary that I did, but it hurts. It's so weird.
You're getting old.
I'm getting older and...
What's happening? You can't get older.
I know.
We're supposed to live forever. We're young.
I'm fighting it. But I couldn't keep up with those 20-year-olds that visited. Oh my God. I am still like, I cannot believe how much they crammed in to this trip. I just cannot.
That's pretty awesome though. Let's just commend her for probably one of the best well-planned trips in the history of Hawaii trips.
What she did.
But that would exhaust me too, because I want to enjoy myself instead of rushing through and like pulverizing Hawaii.
I know. Next time she's going to go to the neighbor island and she's going to come to a complete stop and not know what to do with herself.
Yeah, because there's not that much to do on the other islands.
I don't think 20 is
unless you enjoy the beach.
For the neighbor islands. I think 20 is definitely Oahu. maybe in your mid 30s and up, go out to the outer islands, maybe even older.
50s is Lanai.
Oh, there's nothing. Oh, my parents went and they were bored out of their minds.
Yeah.
They were.
There's nothing to do.
Nothing to do there at all.
Okay, so maybe you just need to be in your 70s then.
Yeah, it's got to be like a complete standstill. Maybe enough to golf a round of golf. They do have horseback riding on Lanai.
Dear.
I'm literally trying to think of things. And then like hanging out at the beach.
Dig deep, Dig
that
deep.
beach is rough. It's almost as rough as Nanakuli. Like,
Whoa.
I've been pulverized into the sand because I went snorkeling over there, lost track of where I was because I was just in the zone, floating around. And then all of a sudden
Oh my gosh, how far away were you?
I was in the shoreline, and then boom, I got tumbled into the sand. And I was like rolled onto the beach.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see that. Like, I would probably laugh my ass off. I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know her.
Oh my God. I think my friend who was...
And people would be like, she keeps rolling. And I'd be like, just leave it. Just leave her. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll get up in a minute.
I think my friend who was snorkeling with me, I think she swam away. She was like, yeah. I think she even took off her snorkel.
Like, how embarrassing.
To pretend like she wasn't snorkeling with me. And then she's like, we're done. I'm getting out.
And you couldn't get up?
No.
Were you having a hard time getting up too?
No, I was fine because another wave came, helped me up just very quickly right after.
And you like ran out. You were like, done. Leave me alone, ocean.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Man, not a coolie. I always talk about how like rocks get stuck in my pants because the wave will take me all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
And then bring me all the way back in.
And I'm like, doesn't want to let you go. That was like the first time I ever experienced like being pushed physically up the beach with a bunch of other people. And then the water holding onto you so strong, dragging you back into the...
And everybody's like, help me.
Honestly, I did end up... Like, first I went there on purpose to go play, and I was having a great time until I really wanted to get out. And then it was like, no.
It's like, no, you're not going to get out now. You're stuck.
That's
so funny.
If I was smarter, I would have swam away from that corner, where everybody was playing, and I would have gone.
But you weren't smarter.
I wasn't smarter. In the moment, I just started to freak out, and I was like, oh no, I'm stuck. In fact, if you look closely at the Makapu'u video, there is a person who is having the exact same experience. You can see this little head being dragged out, then they get pushed back, and then they get pulled back out, and then they get pushed back. So if you watch They
could die, That's not funny.
I saw them get out, so I can laugh because I've experienced the same thing. But I knew that was happening because I watched them for a while, and you can see their little. If you look at the video towards the beach, you can totally see this little black dot. It's just their hair, and they're going back and forth until finally they get out.
Oh, look at these little tourists just getting stuck.
But there were warning flags all along the beach, and I don't know if you can see them visibly unless you zoom in. But there were warning flags over there not to swim that day.
There's always warning flags.
Certain beaches.
Not to swim in certain areas.
Yeah, certain beaches you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. But but it looked so flat and inviting when I was filming. I was like, maybe it's all right. But I actually know the current over there. It's pretty strong.
Is Sea Life Park still open over there?
Yes.
Is Sea Life Park still open?
Yeah, it's open.
That's the best place to feed big sea turtles. Oh my God. I think I spent like $200 on food for them, and I just kept feeding them in their massive pool.
Oh, where...
I love feeding animals.
Where we went to go stand up paddle with the turtles in Haleiwa. Yeah. So I sent them because they wanted to see something. And so my daughter's friend and her boyfriend, that was his first time he saw a sea turtle. And he said it changed his life. It was like his life before seeing a sea turtle and his life after seeing the sea turtle. But
remember that one we saw that was huge that looked like a whole like boat? It came up. Remember you were like close to a dock or something?
Yes.
And all of a sudden I was like, my, look, oh my gosh. And it was like coming up like a table. And I was like, you're going to die.
I know. They get really big. They do. They get really big. But I remember I saw something in the news that there are too many people getting close to the sea turtles. And really they are endangered and you're not supposed to get really close to them. I mean, you see them, they swim there. In fact, they were trying to look for them in Lanikai, and I said, they're actually on the bottom sleeping. They look like the rocks. So you can't really tell.
Sometimes they'll come up,
Sometimes they do come up.
Every time I'm in the ocean, though, I've always been blessed to have, like, them show up. So I feel like that's my Amakua, because they always
Come and say hi.
when I'm in the ocean.
Yeah.
Either that, or they're like, hey, guess what? There's sharks in the area. Because sharks do like to eat sea turtles.
They do.
And stingrays.
Mm-hmm. I did see a bunch of stingrays. What do you call them? They're spotted. They had some kind of funny name, like eagle rays or something like that. But when they fly underwater, I mean, it just looks like this flock of birds. And they have a formation just like birds in the sky. And it was just so amazing to see them.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
I remember there was somebody who would go to Hanama Bay and swim out beyond the reef. And there's all the manta rays are out there.
Oh, yeah. Manta rays,
I forgot who that was.
their feeding time is at sunset, it seems. And that's when they come really close to shore. So that's when you can see them.
I know a lot of people have this like weird fear of them, but they really will not attack you unless you're floating above them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, I've been in scenarios where they're like below me, and what I do is try to swim sideways instead of trying to swim forward, because they swim forward, they don't swim sideways.
Yeah.
So you're better off swimming sideways because you're getting away from them. And I don't think they're really aggressive animals. I know a lot of people are like scared because Steve Irwin got a barb in his heart, but the problem was he pulled it out because it was shocking, right? But yeah, like that was the thing. But also the one that he was hovering above was like, I don't know, bigger than a car or something like that. So the barb was huge. They're not normally aggressive, so there's no reason to be scared. If you see one, just swim sideways. Swim away from them.
They are beautiful. They are.
Instead of swimming towards them. They are angels of the ocean, celestial beings.
They feel otherworldly, I have to say. They're quite magical.
Like alien.
I could almost say
if
before I saw stingrays and after I saw stingrays, my life was different.
My life changed when I went to the Big Island and I did that night scuba diving with the manta rays. Have you heard about that? And they put floodlights
to make them come.
They'll like sink some floodlights. Yeah, and they know it's feeding time. And the lights will shoot up towards the surface, and you are scuba diving. You're basically suspended in darkness. And then they start coming, and you're like, oh, it's like angels.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing angels. It's so beautiful. Like that it was before manta rays and after manta rays for me.
Really.
Like, in the dark.
Hawaii is so special with a lot of those kinds of experiences. And I'm really glad that my daughter's guests, they had that. Because I think that changes you when you have that kind of experience.
For sure. Well, I'm glad they had a really great experience. And I just want to say thank you for sending me goodies. Like, I think I'm going to have to reciprocate and send you stuff. And I did find a couple things when I went down to Galveston by the beach, by my beach, which is not as great, but it's still a beach. I still found it very refreshing. I think I'm going to make your steak recipe. There. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to send you, some spices, but I also found some certain kind of salsas that you can only get down here. So I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Super excited.
And send some mango back your way, but in a different form. Right?
Yeah, your version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love that. I absolutely would.
It's not as great.
You don't know.
It's not as great.
You don't know. You just made it, and the flavors will change the longer it marinates.
That's true. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for another episode of My Tais at Sunset. Please be sure to check us out at mytaisatsunset.com. The website has been updated. The new blog post is up, and we'll be having recipes, more videos, and pictures and everything to share. We'll start doing our store, and we might start selling some pickled mango. So for those of you who are not in a location where you can get mango to make your own, we're more than happy to send you some. And be sure to check us out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and any other places you find your favorite podcasts.
And until we meet again, a hui ho.